Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today, that's right, we're going to be talking about how to build a sim racing roof for your rig, or maybe just to give you some ideas on the best way to build a sim racing rig. And I'm sorry about my voice, I'm a little bit under the weather, but I thought I would jump on because this is a video that I really want to make. It's kind of fresh in my mind because I've just done it myself, and I had to get a little bit creative, I'm not going to lie. There's some things here that may adapt to your rig and may adapt really well, and some things that may not. But I've got a few workarounds for you guys to help out if you have a different setup to mine. Now, my setup is a very do-it-yourself setup. It's kind of nothing like the ordinary, so it's something creative. And sometimes if you want to do things on the cheap, you need to get creative and you need to be able to think outside the box a little bit and be able to just create something out of nothing sometimes. Now, for the materials for what I built, okay, a lot of it is made out of PVC, and then a trip to my local shop, my local like Bunnings or hardware store, really gave me the materials, and I just walked around and got some ideas of what I could use to make the roof and what material I was going to make it out of. And also, mine had to be sturdy. I couldn't rest the roof on top of the monitors because I have two cats. They weigh about, together they weigh about 7 kilos or 8 kilos, something like that. So, and they climb on everything. So if you guys have pets at home, I would highly recommend making it sturdy enough so they do not jump on top of the rig on the roof when your roof is resting on your monitors, because when you go through all the effort of aligning your monitors, you want to make sure that nothing can move that or put more stress on your monitor stand as well, or cave in your roof. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. I'm going to talk you through it as we go, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Righto guys, so before I get started, I thought I'd take my microphone off the stand and talk you guys through mainly just the basics and what this thing looks like. It took me a little while to make a decision on what sort of material that I was going to use. I did have a look around and I did see that PVC was a big choice for most people, and that's mainly because A, it's cheap, you can cut it to any shape, it's easy to work with, and it's sturdy. When it's built, and if you put the connectors together properly, it is very sturdy, and it does become very sturdy. So I thought that was the best way to go. I had PVC at home as well, and so that was great. And I ended up using 20mm PVC pipe, and it was easy. It was easy to use, easy to cut, pretty much easy to mock up a design first before I got into it. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see this because it's all in black, but you can see here that this is an upright of a 20mm PVC pipe, and then there is like a bracket or a brace that runs across to this side, and then there is another brace here, which goes down to the floor, and then it goes into another L-piece brace on the floor. And then what we have here is a board. And this board, I'm pretty sure, was about 1200mm by 800mm. And it is acoustic board, or like pin board that schools use to like pin things to. So A, good for sound. That was one reason why I got it. Sound deadening and sound absorption. That's the word I'm looking for, absorption. And also very close to the size that I needed. Not perfect, because as you can see, there's still a little bit of empty space here between the monitor and the board, but very close. It was mainly for the pets that I have, but they will understand that if they step out over this edge, it gets unstable and they don't go off that edge. But if you wanted to do it again, you could go for the whole length if you wanted to get a custom board or a bigger board. But my problem was I couldn't fit it in my car, so I didn't go for that. The PVC here is connected to the board via little black clips, and then the little black clips clip the board onto, and they only really just sit on there. So I can pull this off at any time and put it back down. And you'll see that when I pull this off, that it actually took some of the paint off because I didn't primer the PVC. I literally just sprayed black over the top because, look, to be honest, this is probably not going to get pulled apart that often. It's going to stay like this, so it doesn't really matter to me. But if you want to prime your PVC and then paint over the top, you'll get a better finish. Now, over the top of this sound absorption board or pin board, it has some black material. It's like some blackout black material. And I literally got this from eBay. It came with a green screen material and a white background material and a black background material. And it was a lot of material because you'll also see that I've also done these sides. The sides of the rig are also got curtains. So I'm fully enclosed now when I race. Fully enclosed, and that builds that immersion and makes it really good to race in, especially nighttime races. It's amazing. And what you'll also see is to hold the material onto the absorption board, I have used just little, I don't know what they're called, but little sort of U-clips, little metal U-clips, just to clip the material onto the board so the material doesn't move. And that works pretty well. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips. 5 clips holding that on, and they were very cheap. They were only like $3 for a pack, and works really well so far. So let's move on to the structure and what that looks like and how to piece something like this together. So this is what my structure looks like. It is a fully PVC structure with just L pieces and T pieces and joiners, and literally just cut to fit pieces of PVC. Now, and I painted it all black just for the immersion and just so it couldn't be seen underneath the rig. But I probably would have changed this if I could, in hindsight, and go back and do it again. Because when you see some other guys' rigs with PVC, they have diagonal PVC bars going across, and I'm not sure if that's just for looks, but it really builds the immersion of being in a car, like having a roll cage above your head, especially with the point of view races. But I'm happy with it just being all black because I play more than just racing games in here. So I do like it just pitch black. So you just feel like you're just fully immersed. So this PVC structure, one thing about it is that I had to just measure it up. I had to add some extra bits and pieces in here. Some of these pass-through pieces, I think they're like 4-way pieces, really build the structural rigidity because I did need it to be strong enough to be able to hold up cats, but also to be sturdy and long lasting and not to warp or bend. The main thing about this is that I didn't want the roof resting on the monitors. Now, if you don't have any animals in the house and you don't have kids or anything, that would be fine. And you'd be able to get away with that, and you could get a lightweight board or some type of material to go across the monitors and be held up by the monitors. But for me, it had to rest on the monitor stand, and it also had to support the stand as well. So what we did here was we had to get a little bit inventive because we didn't have the support structures, and I didn't want it to be mounted from the ground. I didn't want to have to go from the ground all the way up. I wanted to keep the amount of space that I have. So what I did was I used my custom DIY monitor mount to pretty ingeniously, I think, in my own words, to make just sort of two PVC pieces that can slide on top of each other into my aluminium profile, and it just slides in over the top, and that structurally holds the side in. So that works quite well. And then for the piece, the bracing behind the monitor, it doesn't need to be much, it just needs to hold it in place. So what I did was I got some end pieces. I think they were 25mm end pieces for PVC for the same type of pipe, just a bigger diameter, and I drilled a hole in the end of it, in the end of the end piece, so I could put a aluminium T-slot nut and a bolt through, and bolted it to the aluminium profile rig. And all that does is just so the PVC can slide in there and hold it still and hold it sturdy, so it doesn't rattle around or roll around, and makes it a part of the rig. And so that was actually quite simple. And if I had a rig and I didn't have the side pieces like I do, which not many rigs have, especially the uprights, I would do that again. I would buy the 25mm end pieces and I would put them into just bolt them to the rig and then slide them into that. That would work really well as well, I feel. So once you've sort of measured it all up and measured up all of your pieces, and you kind of have an idea of what the structure looks like or what it's going to look like, you can then buy the pieces that you need. So you got to make sure that you have all the L pieces and the T pieces and the cross pieces to slide all of your PVC into. You'll need to measure up, get a measuring tape, measure up how much PVC you're going to need in general across the board. And then it should be relatively cheap. It was quite cheap here in Australia to have that, to buy it. So that was really good. And then you can start putting it all together. And putting it all together, depending on how you want to do it, I wanted it really strong. So what I did was I actually got proper primer and plumber's glue and stuck it all together. I literally stuck it all together because I wanted it structurally strong, because if 10 kilos of cats are going to be jumping on it, I don't want it to move, and I don't want it to come apart while I'm driving or just in general. So there's a couple of things about the glue you need to realize, is that with the glue, it's very messy. So wear gloves, make sure you got plastic down on the ground, and because the primer that you use to put on the PVC before you put the glue on, it goes everywhere. It's a messy job. So look after yourself and make sure you wear the proper protective equipment when you do this. And then once you've used all that, I'll place a video how to use the plumber's glue down below, so you can jump on that and have a look and see how that works. And you need to work relatively quick with that because it can dry very quickly. In my case, it did dry very quickly, and I was outside when I did this. So once you've got all your pieces together and you've structurally made it up, it's as easy as just sliding it all together and placing it on the rig. And I would recommend test fitting all this first, draft fitting. Make sure that you're happy with how it looks and how it all bolts together. And even if it's going to suit the way that you drive, I mean, you may not want these bars in your way. And I can remove these. I didn't glue these ones in because it does hold up without these. This just gives it extra structural rigidity. So I can remove them if I want to, in case someone bigger wants to get into the rig, because you'll see that there's not a lot of space around the outside. So you can remove those. But yeah, other than that, it's a simple, easy way of just having a roof that you can take on, pull off, and I can even just slide this whole thing off in seconds. and it's done. I can take the roof off, it all just pops off, and it's all just done. There's nothing that is in the way, glued, permanent. It's all movable, and you've got a frame on top that you can mount things to, like if you're going to mount Philips Hue lights, if you're going to mount cameras, if you're going to mount anything like that. Now you've got the ability to do that, which is really cool. So I've been really enjoying it. It's been fantastic to race underneath, and really easy to use, and yeah, fully removable, fully replaceable, fully adjustable if you wanted it to be, and it holds up really well so far. Haven't had any issues. The cats jump on here, they run around, they jump off, they play on top of it, and no issues too. So this is how I did it. I hope this has been a benefit. I hope this has been helpful, and yeah, if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I hope this has helped you in your sim rig journey, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace. And have a look at this, will ya? Have a look at the crowd. Look at the Ferris wheel. Look at the lights. Even the track is lit up at the moment, and it looks amazing. Look at all the tents. And have a look at it. Look at the party atmosphere. Yeah, this is just absolutely amazing, and it feels awesome being in the rig and doing this, because it's so dark in here with the roof on.